Shut up and sit down.
Hi, welcome back to Not a Writing Blog. I'm Gabrielle Prendergast. I apologize for not uploading videos for a little while. I've been a little busy, but I'm going to try to get back into it. So in my last video, I talked about one of the worst parts about writing, which is when you find that one of your ideas is really similar to a book that's already come out or about to come out. And I thought I would just keep going with the bad things that can happen to you when you're an author. So that's exciting. So the obvious thing is rejection. You're going to get rejected a lot. We all get rejected a lot. One of the things that happens to me when I talk to aspiring writers, they sometimes say things like, well, I wrote this book and I sent it out to some agents and I got like 10 rejections, so I guess I'm just going to give up. And I go, ha ha ha, that's funny. 10 rejections, no. You need to keep submitting it. You're going to get 200 rejections. Some of my books I've gotten 200 rejections. I've gotten 100 rejections. There's a lot of rejections. So you need to stick to it and keep trying. Eventually, yes, maybe that book's not going to work, but 10 rejections is nothing. And especially if an agent gets back to you and says something specific about your book, gives you specific feedback, like, I really liked this character and that character, but ultimately I didn't feel strongly enough about blah, blah, blah. The fact that they read it and they have feelings about it is a good sign, because most of the time agents read the first couple of pages and they just go, no, because they get a lot of submissions from people who don't know how to write. So if you know how to write, you'll get feedback from agents, and it might be a rejection, but if you're getting feedback, that's good. So that's how you deal with the bad aspect of being rejected, is by viewing that as people are reading it and I'm making progress. And certainly if an agent gives you feedback, that's something to treasure, because that is worthwhile. When I was starting out in screenwriting, I sent my screenplay to a producer in Australia where I was living at the time, and he sent me a letter. This is back in the days when you had to send things by snail mail. He sent me a letter, and in his letter he gave specific feedback about my screenplay and some suggestions, and he rejected it. He said, I don't think this screenplay is ready to show to people, but here's a couple of suggestions. So I worked on those, and I worked on his suggestions, and I changed my screenplay, and the next person who read the screenplay bought it. So if you get feedback from agents or from editors with a rejection, take that to heart. Actually listen to them, especially if you get that feedback from more than one agent or more than one editor. That means there is something wrong with your book, and maybe you can work on that. Now, there's certain types of feedback that maybe don't mean anything, particularly when you're getting kind of feedback about culture and something that is specific to your understanding of the world that maybe the agents that you're submitting to don't understand that. So you don't necessarily have to take that to heart. But a lot of other stuff, really general stuff about characters or about setting or plot or pacing or any of those things, listen to that feedback, because that's valuable. Don't fear rejection. It's part of the gig. It doesn't matter how far ahead you are in your career as a writer. I get rejected. New York Times bestsellers get rejected. It is just the way that it goes. Not every book is going to find a perfect market. Not every book is going to quickly sell. Not every book is going to be a bestseller. So if you're really afraid of rejection, then that's something that you need to work on if you want to be an author, because otherwise you won't be able to do it. You won't be able to handle it. There's too much. That's one of the bad things about being an author, is that a lot of people have to say no to you. That's part of the gig. So I hope that's been helpful. I hope you don't lose heart. Keep going. And as always, if you have any comments, leave them below. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye.